1977, a group of well-known evangelical leaders gathered together and crafted a statement called the Danvers Statement. This statement defines rigid roles for Christian men and women. A year later, the Council on Biblical Manhood and Woman was formed, and they began to call themselves complementarians. Now, the message of complementarianism is that men and women are born into a caste system from which there is no escape, either in this life or the next. Those born into the male caste, according to complementarianism, are gifted with eternal authority over those born into the female caste. Husbands are gifted with additional authority over wives. And husbands are also, within this system, transformed into mediators between their wives and their God. My Bible says there is only one mediator between me and my God, and that is the man Christ Jesus.
And he asked us, why are you dragging out the Danvers Statement on biblical manhood and biblical womanhood? That's 22 years old. I told him it was new enough for Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary in Fort Worth, Texas, to adopt it as their statement of belief only 9 months ago.
We're going to speak. We're speaking out. And in truth, what we're dealing with here is affecting people outside the church. It's in Washington. Anybody ever heard of Eagle Forum? I don't know if you have or not, but Phyllis Schlafly and Eagle Forum are large. They're huge. They're in Washington, been around for decades. I heard a sigh coming over from the right. And, you know, Phyllis Schlafly says that she doesn't know anybody, you know, that beats their wife, and that we don't need to be dealing with this because, you know, this doesn't really happen very much. Women shouldn't be equal, but yet here she is. You know, she's an attorney, and she's in Washington telling us that we have to be at home. All right, there's the hypocrisy, isn't it? Okay, Eagle Forum. Anybody ever heard of Concerned Women for America? Tim LaHaye, Left Behind series, and his wife, well, his wife is on the board of reference for the Council on Biblical Manhood and Womanhood. Does that tell you where they're at on families? And Kate, I'm sure you deal with financial abuse, economic abuse, right? Where money is withheld, the opportunity for a wife to go out and maybe earn a living, withholding resources from her so that she has no escape. Well, let me share with you that Tim LaHaye wrote a book. Beverly LaHaye and Tim LaHaye have written many books on the family. And in this book, Tim LaHaye recommended that women, number one, don't work. Number two, if they work, husband controls all the money. And he specifically clarified, because if you have a job and you have money, it's going to breed a sense of independence that will be very bad for your marriage. Now, that is economic abuse. It's been classified as economic abuse, and yet women are getting this type of advice from leaders they respect, pastors and leaders they respect. So we're speaking out. Do you want to tell them about the Freedom for Christian Women Coalition? Or should I, Shirley? We have started the Freedom for Christian Women Coalition. And the movement has begun. Momentum has started, and we're just not going to back off. If the Lord opens the doors, we are walking through them. So it's a network. It's not a 501c3. We're not starting an organization where anyone has to donate us any money. We're not going to be able to make a living off of it. It's interdenominational, but it's for those who care. We don't hate anyone. I have no unforgiveness. I love my husband. I certainly don't hate men. And I don't think anyone here does. We don't. All we're asking is, come on now. And we're not even asking anymore. We're demanding. Recognize us as equal humans made in the image of God. which we are. So we have started the Freedom for Christian Women Coalition. Also, we have a publication. We'll be giving more information on that down the road to just keep us connected, all of us. Just watch the blogs. Shirley's prolific. I'm constantly posting things online. We will be making this publication available by mail. And so it will be very, very quickly forthcoming. You know, complementarianism is a giant. It's a giant. It's an absolute Goliath. And the money and the power behind this giant is incredible. David had one giant to go against. We have legion. Legion. Shall I say that again? Big money. We're talking grants. Massive amounts of money are behind this complementarian giant. Focus on the family. We were naming names earlier. Big names. Big names. You know, we went through that list. There was probably not a name I mentioned that everyone in this room had not heard it before. Big names, big money, big influence. And legion. And David had one giant, just one, Goliath. And he went to the brook, and he picked up 5 smooth stones, had a sling. Cynthia reminded us earlier that Goliath had 4 brothers, but he picked up 5 smooth stones. He only needed one. There's 4 stones left, and I say the other 4 are for us. So the name of our publication is 5 Smooth Stones. There's a time to pray. There's a time to wait. There's a time to act. And as we see our example in the Bible from little David, and he wasn't all that little, but he was young, there's a time to throw rocks. Seriously. 5 smooth stones.
We gained our legal rights, but we lost our Christian rights. Equal, but equal, but our husbands have authority over us. I don't know how they say that with a straight face. Do you? How do you say you're equal, you're created in the image of God, but you can't speak for yourself? You can't go to God for yourself. You can't do this for yourself. Your husband is your leader, and he's to do it for you. I don't know how they do it with a straight face. I make fun of their equal butts. The Danvers Statement on Biblical Manhood and Biblical Womanhood makes men divine. How else can a man be the head of a woman? Only a divine God can be over me. As much as I love my husband, he is not divine.